Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live with independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Teresa Harper. I'm located in Oregon in the United States. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Whether it's on the replay or you're live, I appreciate all of you. So, we are going to give everybody a minute or two to get on, because there is a delay, so it's going to take a minute for it to show up in everybody's feeds. And then we'll get started. Let's see if I can find my own here. All right, let's see. I'm not getting there. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. Maybe I need to go this way. No. Come on. Show me my feed, please, so I can find it. Go here. There we go. Now I think I can get on. There we go. You can see who's here. No? There we go. Hello, Cynthia. Hello, Cher. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live. We are going to be using the Simply Leaves stamp set today. And we're going to be making a card that's outside of the box. It's not really leaves. Now, this stamp set is 11-piece photopolymer stamp set, and it can be purchased with the coordinating Simply Leaves punch in a bundle. And when you do that, you save 10%. Okay, this is part of the July online exclusives. And then we're also going to be using the Everyday Arches dies. Everybody should have those in their collection. And the Stylish Shapes dies we're going to be using for our sentiment. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in our supplies and see where we are. Okay, so I've got a card base in Calypso Coral, and if the lighting isn't good, let me know, because I don't have any lights on, trying to keep the heat down in the studio. Okay, so this is a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock, and it is cut at 5.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 1 1/4. Okay, or 4 1/4. You can score it at 1 1/4 or 4 1/4. You'll get the same thing. Okay. Hello, Jennifer. So 5.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 or 1 1/4. You choose. It works either way. Okay. You just need to have a 1 1/4 inch strip on the left. Okay, so there's our card base. And then we're going to take a piece of the Gingham Gallery Designer Series paper. I've got the Crisp Cantaloupe. The Gingham Gallery Designer Series paper is the one that's in the online exclusives, and it's all of the 26 to 28 in colors. So I've got that, and this piece is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And that is going to go on here, like, well, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. We have to cut this. So we're going to cut this we're going to cut this we're going to cut off 1 inch. Okay. I'm going to cut 1 inch off of this. And then, is that right? Did I do that right? Hang on. No, I'm not. I need another piece. I have 2 pieces. Right? Or I didn't grab the. No, I have 2 pieces. Whew, I almost messed that up, peoples. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces of the Gingham Gallery crisp cantaloupe, 4 inches by 5 1/4. And this is going to go on the inside of our card. So we're going to do that right now. I made this card last week, you guys. So there we are. Okay. And then I'm going to flip this. You can keep it the same if you want to. And just use the same side. If you want. Or I'm going to use the back side. So that I have the larger gingham print on here. And this one is 1 inch by 5 1/4. And we're just going to put this on here. And I'm not going to press that down yet because I want to make sure that those are going to line up before I do. Now I can press it down. So I want the tops and the bottoms to be even. Okay, so there is the beginning of our card. Hello, Laura. All right, so again, we've got 5 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, or 1 1/4, your choice. And then we've got a piece of the Gingham Gallery 4 inches by 5 1/4 and 1 inch by 5 1/4. Okay, and that's in crisp cantaloupe. So we can set that aside. And then I've pre-done, I took the Arches, the Everyday Arches die, and I took the second to the largest here, and I die cut in Very Vanilla this arch, and then I ran this through the Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder, and this is on the last chance list. Hopefully it didn't sell out. I didn't check. Let's go check real quick. I can do that. And it's reduced to $9. So it is still available, and it's $9. Now we're going to take, I'm going to move this out of the side for a second. And then we're going to take a blending brush. And not this one. I need a green. I need a Peaceful Pine. Hang on. This is from a different card. That needs to go away so I don't get messed up. And then we need some Peaceful Pine ink. And I'm going to set my pad on my silicone mat so it doesn't move. And then I'm just going to use my brush. Which I grabbed the wrong one too, even at that, darn it. Okay, let's grab one that actually is green. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to very lightly go over the raised areas on this embossed piece. So I just want those IVs to pop up a bit. Okay. I highly recommend this embossing folder. I really like it. Okay, so now we've got that. And this piece is now ready for us. I forgot to get my stuff wet. Darn it. So we will spray. And wipe that off. Just to get rid of that, okay? I'm gonna have a hard time with my, I don't know why I didn't remember to wet my chamois. Abby, are you still in here? Yeah. Will you wet my chamois for me, please? good to have an assistant. Yay. Okay, thank you. And then what we're going to do next, I'll show you. I took a piece of the Peaceful Pine two-tone cardstock here. And then I took that same arch, and then I took the one down below it, and I put those two together like this. Put some tape on there. These are not the right two. What did I do with my big one? I just had it. Oh, I lost it already. That's not a good thing. Where'd I put it? Oops. Well, that's weird. Okay, well, you need the bigger, the second to the biggest and the third biggest. And you're going to do like that. But I don't, wow, that's crazy. My die disappeared that fast. Thank you. I didn't put it back on the sheet. Darn it. Okay, so anyway, you're going to do the second to the largest and the third to the largest. Hook those up like I showed you with some washi tape, and then run it through on your Peaceful Pine. And you're going to get this piece here. Okay, now I'm going to put those back on the sheet. And then what we're going to do with this is we're going to attach this. And I use the light side of the Peaceful Pine, by the way. You could use light or dark, your choice. And then I'm just going to add this to my arch, just to give it a nice little finished frame. Ooh. Whoa. I should have filled this up beforehand. I'm running low on liquid glue, and it's rather warm in my studio, which will make it really flow. So I'm just going to run a thin bead and I'm going to wipe that off because I don't want that on my thing. And then we will lay this down, and carefully, I like to start at the bottom and line up the corners. And line up the corner. So if you line up this corner and you line up this corner, then everything else should pretty much fall into place. And then we'll just give that a press. Move those over, and then when I'm happy with that, then I will take my bone folder and burnish those edges. Okay, and then we have this piece ready to go. Okay, so now we can set this aside. So we're not quite ready to do anything else with that at the moment. And then we're going to move on to the focal image of our card. Got to get that glue off. Okay, and for that, we're going to take Very Vanilla, and I've already done most of the stamping for this and the fussy cutting, because there's a lot of fussy cutting. And we're going to bring in Crisp Cantaloupe, and we want the gingham leaf, the small gingham leaf right here. We're going to take that one and we're going to ink that one up. And you need crisp cantaloupe, and you need 5 of those leaves. And then we're switching to Calypso Coral. So you just want to take some scrap paper and rub that off. That's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to the darker Calypso Coral, so I can't contaminate my Calypso Coral because it's a darker color. And then I'm going to do 5 of the Calypso Coral leaves, and I'm doing this on Very Vanilla, if I didn't say that. Okay, so I need 5 of those, 5 of each. And then we're going to move to Peaceful Pine, and I'm going to take the leaf, the small leaf that looks like this. Okay, and I need 3 of these. Twist, twist, tap, tap on these new magnetic pads will get you a good image. Okay, so we've got that, and we need 3 of those. All right. So then we're going to fussy cut these leaves. And for my gingham, I don't need the stem. So I'm actually going to start right here. And I'm going to fussy cut that out. And since I don't know which one I'm short, I'll fussy cut them both. Okay, so we've got that one. And then again with this one, I'm going to cut off the stem. Okay, and then for my green leaf, we're actually going to cut the whole thing. Okay, now you could do this on a bigger scale with the larger leaf, but that would be a little bit too large of a focal image for my card. But it would look great on a home decor piece. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to bring in our Stampin' Pierce mat. And for my leaf, I'm going to take your pick tool, and I'm using the the stylus one, and actually I'm going to use the larger end. Okay, and then I'm just going to follow the artist lines with my stylus tool, and you can see that that has given my leaf some dimension. Okay, so I would do that with all 3 of my leaves. For my petals, I'm going to take, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my nail and I'm going to go all around the outside edge and curl that up. And then I'm going to take my stylus tool and I'm going to run it on the bottom here like this, and you can see that that's curling up those petals quite nicely. And we'll do that with both, because like I said, I can't remember how many. I left one really of to show you, but I'm doing both, so we're okay. We'll have an extra leaf and that'll be fine. Okay, so now we've got that all ready to go. All right, so we can put that away. And now we can start putting our flower together. Okay, because that's what we're going to make, a flower. So I've got all my pieces in here. Except for the one I need here. And then I can see that I've got some peaceful pine on my, oh, I thought she got it wet. Okay. Barely wet. That's good enough. Okay. So I'm going to rub that so I don't get ink on my petals. So we're going to start with, the crisp cantaloupe. And I'm just going to take these and I'm going to take some liquid glue. You could use glue dots, but that will make your flower kind of thick. And I'm just going to run some glue right along the right edge of that petal, and then I'm going to put that petal on there. I'm going to grab another Calypso coral. I'm going to do the same thing. And then we'll use one more Calypso coral. And we'll run that along here, like so. And now I'm using liquid glue, so I do have time to move these. Now, for this one, what I need to do is not put my glue on this one. I'm going to put my glue right here and right here on the edges of those two. Come on, there we go. Okay, and then I'm going to slide that right in there like so. And then when I'm happy with my petals, see, I can just pull these until I like how it looks. All right, so we've got that now. I want this one to go in a bit. There we go. Just like that. Then I'm going to take my Calypso coral leaves and I'm going to put glue at the bottom tip, and I'm going to slide these in here like this, and then give them a little bit of a push down to adhere that glue, and move over to the junction of the next two sets of crisp cantaloupe petals. And I'm going to work my way all around this 5-petal flower, just like that. Okay. Now, making a flower out of these leaves was not my original idea. I saw somebody make the larger leaves into a sunflower, and I thought, oh, see that? This is a mask. Oh, I don't want that one. I want this one. I need the Calypso coral. Okay, so now there is my flower. So I'm going to give that a good pinch. I'm going to move this one in because it's not as far in as I would like. And I'm going to move this one in. And this one in. They're just sticking out a little bit too far for my liking here. But with the liquid glue, you have time to move those because I did not press them hard into place. Okay, there we go. Much better. Now I'm just going to take and make sure that everything sits nicely with the end of my Take Your Pick tool. And then I'm going to take my leaves and I'm going to glue 2 leaves together. So I'm just going to put some liquid glue right there on the stem. And I'm going to put this on top here like that. And hold that for a second. Give it a minute. Okay. And then we're going to add this over here. So I'm going to take some more glue. And attach that to the back here. Like so. And then we'll add some more glue to this one. And we'll put this in over here. Kind of like this. Now, remember, I can still move those if they're not how I want them. You will get a little sticky if you're using the glue. And then this is going to go on here. And actually, I want this one to go down here. Yeah, that's how I want it. Like that. So we'll just change that. Put it on here how we like. All right, and then we're going to grab some dimensionals. And I'm going to put a couple here on the back. And then I'm going to take a couple of minis just to hold these leaves on. That will give that a little bit of extra stability. And pops everything up how I want it. Okay. And then this is going to go just like so. Okay. Now we're ready to add this piece to our card front. So we're going to add that here, like so. And we need to not put glue past here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to draw myself just a little line here, here, and here. And then I'm going to take my seal and I'm going to stay inside that area. And then I'm going to go back and erase those lines because I don't want them showing. Oh. Let's get that off of there. It's probably not going to matter because it's actually in further than I need it to be. There we go, you're not going to see that. Okay, so we're going to place that down here. just like that. Give that a good press. Now I'm going to open that up and take my bone folder and my finger and burnish that down. Okay, we're almost finished here. So we need a sentiment and we need a flower center here. So I'm going to take the flower accents here, and I'm going to take 3 of the small ones, and I'm going to put those right in the center of my flower. Like that. Give that a good press. And now let's do our sentiment. Okay. Let's put those away. For our sentiment, we're taking a piece of the two-tone Calypso Coral. I'm using the light side. And I'm going to take the Thinking of You Often. Oh, I already have that out. Okay, I'm taking Thinking of You Often. I'm going to take a piece of tape because I don't want the often. I just want Thinking of You. I'm going to tape that off. We're going to get our embossing powder, our embossing buddy. And we're going to get some gold powder. Okay, let me turn my fan off for a minute so that my powder doesn't blow everywhere. And then we're going to ink this up in the Versamark. Remove the tape and throw it away. And then I'm going to stamp this down. Hold it there for a second. Let's move our card out of the way.
Is it okay if I take a shower?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Okay. And then we're going to add the gold powder. Okay. And then we're going to heat set this and cut it out with our stylish shape die. And if you've never seen embossing before, it's just magical. Take that powder, shine, that's matte, and you turn it into shine. Okay, so that's that. Then we're going to take our stylish shape die here. I'm going to take this long, skinny one, and we're going to put this on here. It fits just about perfectly. Got to make sure you get the top of the T and the bottom of the G in there. And then we'll bring in our mini cut and emboss machine. We'll use plate 1 and plate 2. Put on our die and our paper, and then another plate 2, and we'll run that through. Okay. And then when we're done, our sentiment is ready for our card.
Everybody okay?
So now we're going to take and pop this up using some dimensionals, which I set down underneath my silicone mat. And we'll just put some dimensionals on here. Add this to the front of our card. Like that. And then for the inside of our card, I took the, oh, they're all back on here. How did I do that? Which one did I use? Let's see, this one. Yep, the 4th from the largest. Okay, so I've got the 4th from the largest. And then I just took and stamped that same leaf like this, but I made a mask and put that on, and then stamped the next one, and then stamped the next one, and then I I actually had 2 masks and then stamped the leaf, just to make that work. And then we're going to add this to the inside of our card. Okay. And because this is another size smaller than 2 sizes smaller than this, if you center this in here, it'll not show. If you go any bigger, then you have to worry about if it's going to show underneath, because you don't want that. So we'll just center that right here. A little something to say hello is from that same stamp set, Simply Leaves. And there you have it. There is tonight's card. I hope you like that. And then there is my envelope. A matching envelope. Let me get that off there. That's driving me crazy. Looks bad. Okay, there we go. So I hope you like that. That's what I have for you tonight. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to have to refresh. I don't see much for comments. There we go. Let's refresh that. And there we are. Thank you guys. I'm glad you like that. All right. I will be back on Thursday night with a hot foiling project. I don't have that designed yet, so I can't tell you what it's going to be, but it will have some sort of hot foiling. All right. So Thursday night, 7 p.m. on my YouTube channel. And then I'll be back next Tuesday night at 7. And then I'll not be here the following Thursday because I'll be attending a family reunion. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to share, like, and comment. And subscribe if you haven't already. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.